Welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Winter Major presented by the Batman. It is time for our match of the day we've been looking for, or the match we've been looking forward to all day long. It is Rise versus the Kansas City Pioneers, and what a match it will be. To break down the action, to get ready to preview what's to come, we got none other than Toby Campbell, one of the best minds and analysts we have in all of Gears esports, alongside the one and only Ryan Fools, one of the winningest coaches in Gears history of all time. But let's go ahead and jump right in, gentlemen. Let's talk about these rosters, starting with Rise. Ryan, tell me about this roster and what makes them so great.
I mean, this is a roster that's been together for quite some time, at least portions of it, right? We keep seeing this sort of revolving door once in a while. INZEM was on the team, then he wasn't, now he's back in. The moral of the story is there's a ton of chemistry on this team, right? Rushiez, Avexys, DeToX, they've been together for a very long time. A ton of skill across the board, right? All of these guys are known for being very, very skilled players, and their teamwork is very, very good as well. They have one of the best coaches we've ever seen in Gears history. This is a team that's very tough to beat. Now, we haven't seen them quite get over that hump yet, right? But they keep getting so close. This new iteration of the roster with INZEM, they're looking very, very scary. Again, an event like this that's so wide open, this could be their time.
On the flip side, we got the most recent dynasty, at least some people were using that word, for the Kansas City Pioneers with Bronny. However, Toby, talked about KCP.
But is that dynasty over, John? That's the question. What we want to find out, or perhaps find out a little bit, get an insight into just today in this matchup. Of course, they won the MSP, they won 2 majors in a row, and now are looking to defend their crown. But question is, can they do it? They've started off really well in week number 1 of Pro League, but ever since they've kind of struggled, But we'll have to wait and see. Ultimately, if Bronny can step up, if KCP guys can do well against Rise, I'm curious. I really am curious to see how they turn up on Major.
Massive shoes to fill, right? And I think it's very reminiscent. Reminds me of when Mental quit Gears and decided to pursue Call of Duty a few years ago, and what happened to that United roster. Yeah, they won a championship. Mental ended on top. From then, weren't able to find the same success. I look at so many similarities between Precision and Mental and what he brings to the team. Ryan, do you think this KCP roster still has what it takes?
Yeah, I mean, the core of this team is still just an incredibly strong core, and Bronny is an incredibly strong player. I think, obviously, we think through what this team was just doing, and we think through kind of their first event without Precision, right? We talk about, can this be the weekend? I'm not sure, but kind of going forward, right, can this team still retain the success they used to have? I think that's certainly possible, right? Again, a player like Bronny has to kind of learn what it's like to play on the top team in the world. He has to learn what it's like to be on the championship team, to have the target on his back, and to have to play at the highest level each and every day. So this weekend, again, I think this weekend's wide open. I don't know if they're going to win this weekend. They totally could, just like kind of any of the other teams. But I think in terms of the long-term success of this team, I think surely they can get there.
I am so excited. This is a first great challenge for them. They, of course, lost to Rise in the Pro League 3-0. Rise had their number. But the story of KCP is, well, they show up in tournament time. When it matters the most, they perform. Let's take a look at a graphic here that kind of dictates and talks a little bit about the stats between 2 players in this head-to-head matchup. It's Acells and it's Avexys. Toby, talk me through it.
Look how close this is, especially the kill participation of both these players. It kind of just shows the kind of players we're looking at right now. Not only are they extremely good slayers with those KDAs up the top, but also just really plays an active role in both teams, right? Constantly putting in shots left, right, and center, whether that be the shotgun or the Lancer. And in particular, Avexys has been a very vocal player in the past. He's always put his mind to the target and usually performs very well. And I think you really need to look to him to really show up today. Likewise, Acells, we kind of talked about that adversity that KCP have been going through. He showed up in a big way in the previous major, in the fall major. I'm hoping he can do so in this major today, starting with this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we don't forget, by the way, that Acells was the MVP of our last major, right? We're literally looking at the MVP of our past majors. So again, Acells is a player who obviously knows how to play when the lights are the brightest. Avexys, we've seen it time and time again, man. Avexys is obviously one of the most skilled players we have in Gears esports. He's kind of always been one of the most skilled players, right, since he's been in the game. So that's a matchup I'm very, very excited for. But again, this team without Precision, right? To me, Acells has to do that much more, which is crazy to think about being the former MVP.
Yeah, and it was the unanimous decision that Acells is the best player in Gears at that time, right? So you got to keep in mind they have arguably the greatest right now in Acells on their team. That obviously is something you can't ignore. However, it's time for gameplay. It's time for the map picks and bans. And what are we going to see here at least? Let's take a look at our bans. Ryan, what do we see banned here?
Yeah, we're going to see KCP banning Ritual Control. A couple bans coming through from Ryze, Spire, and Aphira. And then the ban that I think is a very, very good one by KCP, taking out that Canal's Execution. I don't care what iteration it is of this Ryze roster. They are always really, really good on Canal's Execution. It could be John, because they have another fellow 30-year-old who knows Canal's pretty damn well, but definitely a good ban by KCP. And of course, you're going to see Training Grounds Escalation being banned as well. A map that Ryze actually is usually pretty good on, but this KCP team is just so incredibly strong on it. So I like bans from both teams.
Yeah, and I love the pick and ban process actually from both teams here. Clearly, so much thought has gone into it, right? You have Reactor Control starting off from KCP. Not that much of a played map, I want to say, on the Ryze side. And likewise, KCP, I think, just trying to use that to gain an advantage in control, because they certainly are at a disadvantage, generally speaking, in that mode. 10-1 Ryze are record-wise on that mode, 6-6 for KCP. Meanwhile, Ryze going for checkout. We saw what happened in the last matchup, right? 6-1 to Ryze, so no surprise there. Meanwhile, Vasgar is an interesting one from KCP, because of course they used to be the very best team on this map in that past major, but they've suffered in the Pro League recently. Meanwhile, Ryze have become the best team in terms of Vasgar alone, with a record of 5-1, only losing out to EU. District Control from Ryze, yeah, another interesting one. You kind of lean that way, and the best one for KCP, if we can get there for those guys, Clocktower Execution. They are easily the best Clocktower team. They have been for a very long time, including the past major. And if you do honestly get to that map 5, you kind of have to lean towards KCP at that point, because they've gone through the struggle. They've proved that they have confidence and composure. We can tell from interviews alone that KCP really handle pressure quite well. If they can get to that map 5, you really have to tip it to them and have them winning that one.
Toby, in your eyes, what are the keys to success? Actually, you know, I'll ask Ryan this one. Keys to success for the Ryze squad, Ryan, in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to this Ryze squad, control is going to be very, very important, right? Remember, Ryze for the longest time was the kings of control, right? They need to be very, very strong on that mode, especially because, as Toby pointed out, if you get to that clock tower, that's going to be a very, very difficult task, especially on a map 5. So to me, these two controls are going to be very, very important. And when it comes to playing this KCP team especially, man, you got to keep your pedal to the metal. You have to keep the pressure on. KCP is one of those teams, man, I love this expression, right? You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. So if you are Ryze, if you got the foot in the throat, you know what you got to do. You got to step down, right? So looking forward to seeing what these guys got for us.
Toby, how about the flip side of KCP?
Yeah, well, historically, KCP have been the better slayers, many would argue, right in that shotgun department versus Ryze. And if they can keep that kind of format, win those trades as we have here and make those plays, then KCP have a really big advantage, especially when it comes down to the major, those high-pressure moments. You expect the KC boys to really come out on top there, perhaps. Meanwhile, weathering the storm. I love that quote. Shout out to Fran. It's exactly what they need to do, right? They need to keep composed. They need to find their way all the way back to that clock tower map, in map number 5, and also just focus have the focus fire on the go, right? Ryze are really organized these days, especially when it comes to execution. They've kind of turned that around. Used to be a weaker mode for Ryze. Now Ryze are one of the best XE teams, especially on canals. Won't be seeing that today, but it really goes to show that Ryze have developed as a team since the last major, and KCP really need to keep an eye out for that.
Oh man, y'all are teeing it up as well as you possibly could. This is going to be such a thrilling matchup between these two teams, and I am beyond excited. It's time for predictions, though, gentlemen. Time to buckle up and tell us which route that you're going. Who do you got winning it? Ryan, starting with you.
Yeah, I mean, in this matchup, obviously coming off the last major, it feels crazy to say, but I feel like right now I don't know if I've seen enough from this new KCP team, right? Obviously, I kind of know what to expect from Ryze. You look at this matchup in the Pro League, Ryze won it pretty handily. So despite not having a huge sample size, I am going to kind of go with some of the historical data I do have, and I am going to roll with Ryze in this matchup.
Wow, there you have it. Ryze I'd call it an upset the KCP back-to-back champions from our last 3 tournaments. Toby, how about you?
I'm going with Ryan as well, and I'm going with the stats on this one, and you have to, I think. Ryze, yes, 4th and 5th are Ryze and KCP respectively in the Pro League, but yeah, you mentioned it, right? 3-0 in the last matchup, right? They kind of got over this mental block, I want to say, of defeating KCP. That was, all that too strong previously. And you just look at the records generally, right? Control, Ryze have such a huge edge, 10-1 versus 6-6. That's two maps, perhaps gone already towards Ryze. They have a huge advantage here. I think they'll take it.
All right. Toby's going with the stats, the analytics, and there's a place for stats, there's a place for analytics, but there's also a place for having a clutch factor. It ain't no statistic and a measure of that. Kansas City Pioneers, they show up when it matters. I got KCP winning this, man. How could you count him out? You know Acells is listening to all the hate. You know Acells is the most dedicated, committed, wants it more than anyone in the rest of the game. He ain't going to let his team lose. I think KCP is going to take this one. I think it's going to be a close one, though. Don't get me wrong. It could go either way. And, I'm going against the grain here, though, with my fellow analysts at least. I'm taking KCP. But, hey, gentlemen, casters, what are your thoughts as well, guys? Who do y'all think's taking it? KCP, Rise, who you got? Blaze, start with you. Who you got here?
For me, I don't think it's an upset, man. I think these two teams are evenly matched. So if Rise comes out on top, hey, they're the team that's better. So I'm going with Rise, all right? I think they got this matchup. I agree with Ryan. I don't think KCP is as fearsome as they looked before. But if they do show that same energy in this major, they come out on top, make it to the grand finals, then it's a lot to be said, especially about the duo of Acells and Hndles. You can compare them to Genetics and Atmo, okay, as far as duos playing with multiple different teams getting titles.
Let it be known, by the way, if KCP does win, I demand it, that or I'm fining him. I need a Hndles interview after this match if they win. Otherwise, he has no choice. Otherwise, fine, ban, whatever it is. I need a Hndles interview. No one interviews better than that guy. I swear to God.
Not one person.
He's the best interviewer.
I love this interview last time.
Yeah, now one person.
It was the best
interview ever. Taylor, I'll throw it over to you. I want to get your prediction as well. Taylor, I'll throw it to you as I hear your prediction to kick this one off. Take it away, guys.
I got to tell you, man, I think I'm going KCP on this one. I had a chance to look at the maps. I started looking at the stats, and Rise got the best of KCP last time, Blaze. When I mean the best, I'm talking like it was a smackdown, a beatdown. Wasn't even close. Rise ended up taking the throne away, and, well, they sat on it, and they said, we're the kings now. But KCP is a team that does show up in the majors. Bronny, though, has a lot of pressure on him, and he understands that. I had a chance to interview him, Blaze, and he feels like it doesn't matter. He knows the pressure's on him, and he says he feeds off of it. We're really going to find out now. This is going to be the true test, the true first test to KCP, but honestly, I got to say, starting off on Reactor, this is a map that Rise, they're great on, but I think KCP is better, brothers. So KCP should be taking map 1. We got Rise taking maps 2 and 3. And from there, I think KCP is going to clean it up.
You said it well, okay?
I said it with my chest.
Oh, yeah, you did. You said it with your chest, okay? One thing that was great was Fran's keys to victory. He pretty much said that Rise, pedal to the metal, the kings of control, fast rotations, in-your-face gameplay, quick, decisive thinking, right? They do that, they will absolutely destroy the Pioneers. On the flip side, Pioneers, okay? They have to stay composed in the chaos, win some of these fights that they've been losing, that they've traditionally been winning in the past. If they could do that and show us that composure, we will see a similar Pioneers team that we saw before winning that last major. But it's two different factors from these teams, two outlying factors from the two rosters that we saw at the last major. That's INZEM, that's Bronny, okay? Playing with two top-tier teams, but as they had to learn and understand over the Pro League, that it's a different pace, okay? And they've known that. But between the two, who has adjusted the most, okay? Can Bronny stay more composed? Or on the flip end, can INZEM do it and also play that fast-paced play style and get in his opponent's faces and make the plays? Who can get back to true form with their squads the quickest during this major? Ooh, I think INZEM has an easier job than what Bronny does on the Pioneers, and for that, I think Rise should come out on top, and they should have a better tournament this weekend, but we'll see who got the assignment right.
Nice shot from Avexys. As soon as he drops, he sends one flying. Xysho ends up taking the brutes of that force from the Torque Bow. Great start for Pioneers, Blaze. They take a 43-8 lead, and by the way, love your justification, and also your statement about you don't think it's going to be an upset either way, and I think that's well said, Blaze. If Rise wins or KCP wins, either way, it isn't an upset because we know what both teams can bring to the table and also how close the competition is at the top 5 of the Pro League standings. Rise, KCP, Rebel, of course, the couple of others. Like, these guys truly bring all the action, and we love it. We really do. And great start, like I said, for KCP. We are seeing that those shots, those Lancer shots and Teamfire come out from Rise, though. Something that gave them success in the last series. That was Friend's key point. And here could, in fact, hurt KCP overall. Hndles by himself, and he's looking to push up.
Oh, he had to back down. He goes back in the fight. Almost got the chunk that he needed, but was able to take one to the grave at least. Rushiez stunned. He gets behind his opponent. What a shot. That's so hard for him to do, but he stayed composed in the battle. It's Pioneers. They got the 2v1. No revive comes through. Avexys getting hunted down. One good back A needed from him. He hit it. There's the down. INZEM can't get close enough for the revive, and it's going to be the Pioneers who are able to set up at P2. So far, so good for them, Taylor. They're going to start moving out, controlling the spawns. They know exactly where Ryze is spawning up at, so they're going to set that first line of defense as far possible as they can. And I'm loving the angles out the duo of Hndles and Acells. They get the first kill in this team fight, and from there, it should be easy pickings on the rest of the Ryze members.
Yeah, Hndles and Acells did a wonderful job isolating Rushiez. Just taking him down alleviates the pressure from Ryze on that push. Bronny spotting INZEM, trying to rotate through the map. Not going to get away from Big Bronny. He's going to take you down every time, and that's exactly what he does in the moment. Big rotation for next. Ryze, they got the real estate so far, and they're going to try and stop KCP before they can even get close to the hill. And what a nade! What a nade! Are you kidding me? To pick up 3 Acells, Bronny, and Xysho. Talk about getting your money's worth for the price of 1.
Talk about blowing up the spot, but that's something that DeToX is very good at doing, as now you got Pioneers nowhere to hide. It's Avexys able to find another kill for the team. They see this push coming a mile away. They being Ryze. Here comes the Lancer Fire. The kills there towards the back. No Lancer Fire actually comes through. There it goes. They finally get an angle, but Rushiez goes down first, and that's a big double kill from Acells. Give him 3!
Oh my
as he's
Lord.
gonna clean up the hill with little help.
I like this, man. You know, we saw that beautiful 3-piece earlier with the nades. Now we're seeing Acells pop off Blaze. That's what I expect with this matchup, and KCP has come to play. And Ryze, they're just behind, but we know how these series can go and these maps can go, Blaze. They can turn on ahead very, very quickly, depending on who starts turning up at what portion of the map. Bronny missing a shot. DeToX looking to close the gap. Bronny, though, cool, calm, and collected, will shut him down and overextend himself over towards Avexys as KCP take a considerable lead, forcing Ryze to come back.
You know, somewhere I felt in the back of Riv's mind thinking like, oh yeah, that was a better 3-piece than what Identity got, and it wasn't. It wasn't, okay? Identity still got the best play of the day so far.
Coming to play here? He can't catch a break.
Nah, he can't, because he's always watching. He's always a part of the show at some point, okay? Like, I can get on him right now, you know? I taught him how to observe. You didn't know that? Long story for another day.
But I tell you what,
yeah, different story for another day. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Pioneers, power weapons in hand. They got the nades to work with, and they're going to get rotated early towards the next hill. Hndles, he got a big job on the fight, but Avexys an even bigger job, just being patient. He'll get the first down and set his team up for success on the rotation.
Yeah, 67 to 120. Pioneers still up just nearly half of that of Ryze, but they're coming back, and I like the fact that DeToX has center control so far. ACP is going to have to think twice about pushing him. Well, Hndles does get a couple of shots. Acells is also there, and the guy can't catch a break because he's also getting lancered from the opposite end by another KCP member. So Ryze, they're going to send reinforcements, and it seems to pay off as Acells will fall, and Ryze will maintain control of the current hill plus the torque bow. And what a shot that was from Rushiez onto Xysho, seeing the pixel, taking him down. And look at that lead. Now, Pioneers not feeling too comfortable as Ryze is right back in the game.
Yeah, not feeling comfortable whatsoever. They're going to have to be able to get a good rotation towards the next hill. And the Pioneers, they did that. Hndles just has to protect the middle portion of the map. If he does it, that's going to force all of Ryze into the open area of the map, trying to cross through the spine. As Avexys wasn't able to do it, the bow is going to miss. That's a crucial miss for Rushiez. Even worse if he doesn't stay alive. INZEM has to take some damage. All players will be able to get out with their lives, but you see the Stallions charging forward. Pioneers trying to clean up these kills. But even if they can't get the kills, they got the pinch. There's a trap. Hndles on a world tour. DeToX! The bunker buster. He blows up the spot once again, finds 2, and he gets 3, opening up the door for Ryze to make the play and get some time.
Yo, DeToX is popping off this map, boys, and I gotta say, if Ryze ends up winning this, you know you gotta tip your hat to DeToX because he's made some great plays already, and we haven't even reached the halfway point of map number 1 between these two great teams. Avexys, though, tries to space it out of Cells, able to get the best of them. INZEM gets the follow-up. He's got one more player just in front, and that's going to be Bronny, Bronny, no competition. INZEM sees it and fires a beautiful spread to take him down, get the chunk, and, well, KCP has no real estate now anywhere close to the current hill.
Yeah, when it comes down to INZEM having to fit into Rise's playstyle for this team to be successful. He has a easier task than Bronny, having to show a little bit more composure on the side of the Pioneers for them to get the best out of this team comp and historically what has been a championship playstyle for them. INZEM and DeToX holding his heel down. That's a great ball. That's a good one.
That was a great
He got one more left in the chamber. It's inactive. He says, don't worry, I got another one just for him. Comes up short. His teammate has to dodge. Rushiez not going to be able to make a play. But Acells on the flank. Can he find at least another? Ooh, you see, he almost got it.
He almost got it, but DeToX hit that first shot, and well, INZEM felt a lot more comfortable to swing wide and get the final shot that he needed. KCP, though, in control of the hill, keeping it competitive. INZEM trying to swing up onto Hndles. Got to be careful here. Oh, my Lord. One Xysho? I thought Xysho had INZEM dead the rights. I'm not going to lie. I was trying to play up the moment plays, but I thought it was over with without question. But these Rise boys, they're hard to take down. And with those 2 kills, now they can pressure up onto the hill, and KCP's life just got a little bit harder.
Yeah, Xysho thought it was a free kill, but if you've ever had to fight INZEM, or even if you've just watched him play, you know that he is never an easy kill to acquire. Like he has eyes in the back of his head. Now, towards the front of the fight, it's Rise with all their eyes focused there towards the bottom of the ramp on his hill. They know where the spawns is coming in for KCP. The Pioneers, in order for them to contest this hill, you see how Acells has to walk up? That's how he contests. He has to walk up into that hill. Bronny has the bow in the sight line. He's focusing on INZEM. But INZEM is going to walk out and go for the chunk. He may even try to walk down the stairs into the smoke when the time is right. Playing his life for now. Don't have the smoke anymore, but it is going to be him. To get the kill that Rise needs. They're getting time. Acells, he has to step up. But you see that pre-fire from Rushiez. He says, no. At this point, it's scrap time. Anything that KCP fights for is scrap time. So they rotate the bow out, and Rise is going to press forward. Says, okay, let's catch these guys before they can group up with their teammates, keep the numbers in our favor, and win the rotation.
Ooh, INZEM just a bit to the right of Hndles, and well, he's going to pay for it. Hndles will take him out, but you got teammates for a reason. And Avexys will get the cleanup onto one, let Hndles bleed out, and go ahead and start that rotation. Bronny, torque bow in hand. We've seen him have it for quite some time. This is the first, connects on the second, and has to double back onto DeToX, and INZEM, who's going to be just up ahead. KCP needs to find some new life. Things can get carried away, but what a shock that was. But miraculously, Bronny and Xysho end up walking away, but not unscathed, because Rise is tightening that vice grip. Bronny's getting sandwiched from all angles, and I am so impressed that any KCP member is still alive.
INZEM gets another kill. They were able to take down Avexys, but KCP, they make it back to the hill. Great flash to the left, allowing him to make a play for a kill, but he couldn't. So, Rise set up. They need to spread out. They'll win control from mid-map as well, Taylor. It's looking good for them. It's a 4v3, and now they just need to take their numbers against the Pioneers. And you see how they're getting aggressive on these fights on the edges. Don't want Bronny to get no free shots whatsoever.
No free shots indeed. I mean, it really, I gotta say I'm impressed with how well this battle has been between KCP and Rise Blades. Nobody's giving an inch, even though we do see Rise taking another lead, and really the most substantial lead we've seen yet. We're seeing some great plays. Hndles looking to make a great one himself, but DeToX's Lancer Fire gives Rushiez the confidence to close the gap, push up, and take him down, giving Rise control of the hill, and also an opportunity to get close to the 250 mark, putting them 50 points away from 300, and winning map number 1, a map that KCP chose off the rip, Blaze. This is one that KCP, in my opinion, needs to win. We know Checkout of Vasgar is coming up next. We saw what happened during the Pro League matchup, which means if KCP loses this, we could very well be seeing another 3-0. So this is a map that KCP needs to start turning up on.
Pioneers, they're still within reach of getting this victory. We've seen crazier comebacks. It's been a scrappy battle. It's about a one or two hill differential based off the pace in which they've been playing at. Pioneers with 2 kills on the board. They have the numbers to be able to contest this hill, even move up and get another kill or two. Acells took some damage, so he needs a little bit of extra help to move in and take this player off the stairs. DeToX goes in while the bow is reloading. They completely disregard him to get the kills. It worked out. DeToX got behind enemy lines, but he can't get the final kill that he needs, and Rushiez is taken out as well. So, Pioneers, with this hill, it's going to put them probably within 30 of tying the game. I don't see Rise able to get back to test this as much as they probably want to, especially with Rushiez dying there and him being staggered. Rise has to play this one perfect, Taylor, and it's starting off well. It's a nade in his pocket.
He's got to throw it. Got to connect here. DeToX is dead to right. Surely, yes, he is. Now 2 more you got to deal with. The fact that Rise even keeps this contested, though, Blaze, you were saying you don't foresee them even getting into the hill, but yet here they are. That's a testament to how Rise continues to fight for every inch of the map. 262, they're actually gaining time. KCP gives it up, and they're going to be fighting for new. They give up the scrap time, but at this point, scrap time is scary time when you're looking down the barrel of a loss. But either way, KCP, they make the decision, and they're going to stand by it, but they need to still get some of these Rise members out of the woodworks. And I don't know, time is running short, and this now becomes a must-win.
The biggest kill is on Xysho if they take him out because he has the nade in his back pocket. A big reason why KCP chose to rotate early. Xysho knows that if they can win this fight cleanly, he has the utility to at least hold Rise off from one team push. If they can do that, then that will be able to get them the tie game. Avexys calling for help. Rise knows that if they can get this bow, they don't care what nades their opponent has. A quick cut back from DeToX. The revive is there. Xysho still has that nade to work with. He can't use it yet, but he's going to back up. There you go. Chooses to go for the flank. Able to take down Avexys, though. And Avexys, did he have the bow? Yeah, he did, but DeToX picks it up.
DeToX picks it up. INZEM takes down Acells. Bronny trying to hold his ground, but the torque bow from DeToX will connect. And this could very well be one of the final hills that we might be seeing, depending. There's just enough time for Rise to win this. So Pioneers, they need to get into the hill and contest. If Rise holds on to it without KCP getting a touch, well, that means they're going to take the victory. But there it is. A couple of seconds will tick away. And I think that bled it a little bit too much for Rise to take the victory here. But we'll find out very shortly. I already know me and you, Blaze, we're not doing math, so I'm not even going to attempt to do it. If they win it off this hill. But they're 5 points away, and KCP is sprinting. Good torque bow, and great nades to take down Acells. Xysho, Bronny, 3 will go, and there was enough time, and Rise will take map number 1, KCP's map pick on Reactor. That is a massive victory that could very well put them in victory circle.
A massive victory indeed, and it comes off a massive performance from DeToX. Multiple multi-kills on that map to get Rise positioning and set them up for success. The entire squad supporting each other, multiple assists across the board. It was a team effort from Rise, and hey, pedal to the metal. They got it done.
Got it done. Man, what a victory that was for Rise. And starting off the way they did, you know, a little bit behind. Like, not massively behind, but 60 points behind, nearly half of what KCP had at one point. And they slowly but surely started coming back. And what place that was from DeToX, man. Just tearing it up, my guy, especially in the beginning. He didn't slow down. Avexys ended up holding his ground as we expect him to do. But DeToX really taking the MVP role, at least in my eyes. But let's talk about KCP at the beginning and why they were dominating and why they started to taper off.
You know, when it comes down towards the Pioneers, their first initial fights were very successful there. Throughout I want to say it was the first 2 or 3 hills, they were looking good. But then we got down towards the corner hill. It was in the bottom right of the mini map. That's where we saw INZEM tucked in the corner. And Rise, they pretty much waited out that hill. And as soon as the Pioneers started to rotate out, Rise took over. They started picking up some kills. And they were meeting the Pioneers, you know, at these hills to start. And they were coming out with some big engagements right here. Pioneers got a lot of power weapons, but they didn't get the proper usage out of them that they needed to for them to get a lot of time off the hills. We saw multiple times where DeToX, you know, he said, okay, the Pioneers are set up. They're about to start getting some time. Then he comes out with a double. You got double nade kills coming out. And Rise they were able to set the pace, and the Pioneers were constantly playing into their hands.
You know, Friend came up with the, the key points, right? We were talking about that. One of those key points was keep pressure on the Pioneers, and I think they did that very effectively. DeToX with the torque bow, with the nades in the beginning. We saw INZEM hitting some wonderful nades too, right, Blaze? So that pressure was unrelenting, and once they got it started, it was, even though KCP never really felt like they weren't competitive, they weren't in it. It was just Rise was a step ahead of them. Rise was better than them, right, in multiple fights. Yeah, exactly. And those little things made a difference and put Rise in the victory circle, which now puts them going into checkout, a map that they ended up picking in for good reason. And last time they played checkout, Blaze, it ended 6-1. That's how dominant Rise was.
And see, that's the thing is, we talked about it at the beginning of this Pro League, how it seemed that every split Rise was mastering different game mode. We knew how great they were at Escalation. Boom. Yep. Next split, we get multiple game modes. They were the kings of control.
Right.
Next split, nobody can touch them in execution. And then now we're finally at this season. It was like, okay, can they put all of this together to win a major? And maybe now is the time. Even with a roster change, Rise, they still have so much versatility across the board in every game mode, and it's not one in which they are weakest at.
And let's actually talk about that roster change. You mentioned, Rise continues to get better. Right now, they're looking to be incredibly dominant. INZEM, what does he bring to the table that Icy didn't have?
For INZEM, what he's going to bring to the table is that it's more so on the speed and his play style, okay? Icy, he can get flash, Icy can get flash if he wants to, but he keeps it simple. Working smarter, not harder, okay? When he's in his fights, once he gets a good spread on you, he don't need to bounce crazy to get that kill. He going to take that angle out wide. He knows he needs to hold that shot to finish off the fight. And it's a more composed and methodical gameplay, even though he's nasty. On the flip side, INZEM, we see him go into some chaotic situations, but he's able to navigate his target selection and navigate that fight, putting out damage. It takes 3 shots to get 3 kills for this guy, but as everybody's focusing on him, the entire Rise team is able to pick their opponents apart. So when Rise is playing at a faster play style and it's objective, I think INZEM is a better fit for Icy. Now, on the flip end, when it comes down to, having a veteran in your team, the composure, the leadership, somebody that you can consistently trust on every single time, and who is an absolute marksman with the M bars, the M bars and the snipers, that's Icy for you, okay? Right. You get a lot of peace of mind having him on your team. But, this Rise roster, they just got a sharper blade, okay? And they're just going to have to pull what E United did. And it's not about having one IGL, even though Avexys is still here. It's about the entire squad just making a group effort to get it done.
And that group effort is really felt across the board. INZEM has always had unwavering confidence in his ability to play. We saw that in his interview during the MSP victory that he had a while ago with that old Hive roster. And INZEM brings a ton of value, especially with the meta as it is, Blaze, things speeding up. INZEM, he mentioned it best. He's a fast player. He knows how to make high-impact plays and prioritize those fights accordingly. And in the new meta as it currently is, he fits perfectly. He really does. Plus, you also have 2 different storylines. You've got KCP, who was on top for the longest time. You've got Bronny now trying to fill in the shoes of Precision and keep KCP on top, where Rise still has never been on top. Second place, sure. They've always been in contention of top 4, but then again, they've never got a championship. So now you have a roster that every single one of them are hungry to not only get a championship for Rise, but also INZEM too, who's looking to, repeat the success. MSP's not enough for him. He wants a championship, and this is his championship.
It truly is. And, when it comes down to it, INZEM, don't forget the type of player that he was before he took a break, right? To go throw some fists every now and then in FGC. Before he took that break, he was playing a similar role to what DeToX is for his team. Now, INZEM still has that capability. He's played primarily one play style for most of his career, right? That aggressive front spawn slayer. Now, for the shoes in which he has to fill in from Icy from a positional standpoint, I think he can do that and also exceed it, okay? Because when it comes down to the respawn game modes, the escalations and the control, even him just having to win a big 1v1 in execution, he'll be able to do that very, very well. And he'll be able to do that one very, very well. So we'll see how he continues to, fill the shoes of the great Icy, but he's doing a good job so far.
I think he's doing an amazing job. Are you kidding me? Rise is just, they've been on fire. They really have been. We talk about the inconsistencies they have, sure, but it's championship weekend. And we'll see how they do on Sunday. You know, one of the things about Sunday is Rise does, in fact, taper off. We've seen that happen time in and time out. Now they just got to get over that hump on Sunday, which I'm sure they'll end up making it there. But either way for Rise in this series, they're looking great. Now, one thing that I do got to ask and really, you know, kind of talk about is Bronny. Bronny, obviously, big addition to KCP, replacing Precision. We've talked about that. But specifically here for Checkout Blaze execution, one of the things Bronny tried last time in one of the series against Rise on Checkout was trying to swing wide, trying to go out, get the nades, and have an effect. He tried so hard to make the nades and make the flank work to the point where it wasn't working anymore. And so Acells is like, hey, Bronny, let's switch up positions. I'm going to join the team fight, or you're going to join the team fight. I'm going to go get the nades and try to make some things happen. That was the first mid-game adjustment we had truly seen KCP ever make, because normally their roles are solidified. So Blaze heading into this checkout once again for the rematch.
Yep.
I'm curious if we're going to see the same thing, or will Acells stick to the 1v spot?
I am as well, bro. I am as well. Because I feel like Pioneers have to completely change their playstyle with Bronny on the team. I don't know if they could be the same Pioneer squad that they had with Precision, just because it may not be possible, because that's just the type of player that Precision was, and the type of team combination that they had. It literally was a God squad. Okay, every player on that team played their position perfectly, and they had so many different levels to them.
I just realized Bronny was first-blooded. Bronny was getting first-blooded quite a bit in the series against Rise before, and wanted to see adjustment from him. And unfortunately, this time he was once again first-blooded. And it was on that platform fight, which we saw a lot of attention put. Mind you, Hndles is in the 1v spot, so sorry to cut you off there, Blaze, but it's tough to see Bronny once again getting first-blooded when you expect a lot from him. But hey, Hndles on the flank, he could have a big impact here, and he is.
A big impact indeed. I thought he almost killed his teammate, but it's a 1v1. DeToX having to fight off his left hand. He's uncomfortable, but he's getting his comfort back slowly but surely, knowing that he cannot allow Hndles to health regen. Both players flipped the map, and DeToX, did he just get him? Oh my God, he outplayed him. Hndles, he couldn't quickly see the play. Oh! DeToX, he played him like a fiddle.
Wow.
From the time the 1v1 started, DeToX was a step ahead. From the damage he put out, to putting the pressure on his left, to quickly getting incendiaries, to the pre-fire on top of the sniper, and then to the pre-nade toss on the outside cover.
Yo, like, firstly, well done to Hndles. Like, picking up 3 players like he did, he nearly got the team ace, which is what was needed to put KCP 1-0 up. But, I mean, DeToX, that play to read him, like you said, like a book, was just phenomenal. Bronny first-blooded again on the platform fight. INZEM getting the best of him once again. And then Hndles will also die off as he tries to go and make some moves. And, well, KCP now is going to be on the back foot as Rise 3 strong to the 2 of KCP. And KCP's time is running short. Acells goes for the challenge. He got it down, so he felt justified in making the push. Xysho looking to make a miraculous play, and he nearly does. But in the end, too much composure from Avexys, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead from Rise.
Rise, they are feeling comfortable so far to start off this map. That's 2 first bloods to INZEM. We've been talking about the matchup since this kicked off. INZEM, Bronny, how can they fill the shoes of the players replaced since the last major? Since that major, we saw these squads going at it in the grand finals, okay? You know, we're missing Precision in Red Icy, but at the end of the day, you know, the new fields for the squads, they're getting the job done. But when it comes down to winning a championship, we'll see if they can handle that pressure. A quick pick from KCP, multiple nades dodge. The sniper is going to be missed. There's a 4v4 on the map. Rise is trapped. They can't get out, and they're going to get 8 alive in the corner.
And man, I saw Bronny making that push. I didn't know if he had the team fire behind him, and I was like, don't get chunked, and he doesn't. He stands his ground, and KCP wins a dominant round. Everybody's standing, and maybe we're flipping the script from this point forward. Well done.
You know what that
was a big
reminded me
adjustment.
of? You know, you ever been in like the grocery aisle, and before you like check out, you start like eating the chips or you like drinking the pop, and it's like, hey, can you wait 30 seconds before you get out the store? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like the Pioneers, they open Rise up before they can check them out. You know, it's like Like we can't wait.
I like how that sounds though.
We can't wait. All right, but they need to do it one more round to get this one all tied up. Snipes in the hand of Rise, nades in the hand of the Pioneers. First nade's gonna miss. The body shot is there on the Acells, but Rise stays composed. They say dodge the nade from Hndles, but they can't do it. It's a team kill coming out, a 3v2 for the Pioneers. Rushiez with incendiaries. It's a winnable round for Rise. That's a great nade, but not good enough to allow Avexys to move up. He goes for the quick shot.
Still have a chance, Blaze.
Rushiez have to move up for the revive, but they can't get the quick snipe that they need. And it's going to be a Pioneers round unless Rushiez gets this blind fire over the top.
You know,
almost.
I was gonna say, man, Rushiez trying to do his best impersonation of Toady, right? In that staying alive clip, Blaze, trying to stay alive in a 1v3. And there's the old KCP that I think everybody knows and loves, man. Just, you know, showing some love as a whole. They're feeling more confident. They tie it up 2-2. And just like that, it doesn't seem so easy for Rise anymore, Blaze.
Well, that's only a tie game. You know, that's not even a momentum shifter. You know, back in my day, if you was talking trash like that and you didn't even have a lead, you probably wasn't going to win that map. All right? I just got to be honest.
In my day.
Yeah, you probably wasn't going to win that map. If you didn't get the lead and you were talking trash like that, I can absolutely assure you they just lit a fire up under Rise's ass. And we'll see what they can do with that. As we see the opening flashes come out, the smokes come out, it's free nades for Rushiez. Rise, they're focusing on a sniper. They go out wide a little bit. They see the downs. They're capitalized on the kills. Rushiez with a team kill, but it didn't even matter. At least for now, it does not. DeToX backs up. There's the third kill, but can they make the fourth happen? It's up to Bronny to go big. You got a lot to deal with.
A lot to deal with, and he's got spacing too, and I think that's the scariest thing is that spacing, because Bronny's comfortable up close, and let's not kid ourselves, right? He wants to get up close. That's his best chance of clutching, especially if he can close the gap on Rushiez, which he has fully committed to, but now he backs up, and he finds himself pincered in between Rushiez as well as Avexys. Bronny's, his situation was very difficult at first to be in the first place, but I mean, once he made that commitment to Rushiez, Blaze, I think he should have just fully committed to it to try and take him down, but maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I am.
You know, when it comes down to it, you say that again. The play that INZEM, Rushiez committed to INZEM right there?
No, Bronny committed to Rushiez, right? He goes for the push. He has him split for a little bit, but he makes the push. He gets peppered a little bit. He should have fully committed, but instead he backs up, and now he got pincered in between Rushiez.
But, you know, sometimes you're hoping that as you're chasing one kill, the player behind you is close by so you can turn around and get a quick 180. It's about creating a play, because theoretically, nobody should lose a man advantage, especially in this level, in this Gears 5 in which we're playing. It's a lot faster pace and execution versus the older Gears, so you have to be quick when trying to create those opportunities, and I think Bronny did a good job, but Rushiez is about to do an even better job. Almost got him, but Acells, he saw the nade had a little bit too much hang time, and a little side roll was good for the dodge, but DeToX trying to stay composed, timing his health regen at the right moment, but maybe moved up a little bit too soon. INZEM looking for the down. He gets it. Put some shots on Xysho, but Xysho makes the play. And it should be a Pioneers round, but it's a 3v3. Anyone's game. No power weapons in the hands of Rise just yet. Hndles should be getting those incendiary grenades. Actually, I think they were picked up.
Oh, look at this. They're making the push. They're trying to isolate Bronny. They're going to drop Bronny, but he's going to be picked back up into the fight. Hndles finds an opportunity to get down onto Rushiez. Now going to be a 2v2. Avexys will drop off. DeToX looking to even up the odds. Goes for the pickup. Won't happen. Avexys get the drop on Xysho. It's Meat Shield versus Meat Shield. The Meat Shield for Hndles is going to be dipped. Avexys now. But then Hndles hits a beautiful headshot, and he's going to win it. We're tied up 3-3. What an ending to round number 6.
Oh my God. He says, get away from me. Stop chasing me. It was a shotty. It was a quick shotty O trigger. Look, okay, Avexys goes down. DeToX swing. I gotta save you. Revive. Boom. Now. Oh, pistol. Yeah. It was a pistol headshot. Wow, talk about a clean way to end the round. I thought we were playing Gears 1. Okay, the way that pistol headshot came out in the clutch. Avexys, multiple downs in the back lanes. It's a 3v2 for Rise to get the lead back in their favor. Hndles, one nade left in hand. Looking to toss it towards Plat, but he's going to rotate it to back towards the... I thought he was going to go get frags for a second, but now he needs to save Xysho.
Oh, that looks perfect, and it was. What a perfect throw on the INZEM. Oh, now it's up to him. Xysho by himself. Does have the spacing. Oh, yeah, it's a misroll. Gital doesn't get away. That misroll put him in the grave, but what a throw with the instant that Hndles threw onto INZEM. Literally perfectly calculated, but in the end, it was Rise who ended up getting the victory to bring it 4-3. Hndles having a hell of a game with 10 kills, but you know, honestly, you could say the same for everybody. I think everybody is playing very well. That's why the score is 4-3.
And, you know, if you haven't played Gears of War, I know you got Xbox Game Pass, everybody, okay? So go download the game. It's on there. And the reason why I say that, because if you don't know how impactful a misroll can be and how hard the movement is in Gears, then you might not be getting the full experience in which we're getting, because it really is the fighting game of shooters. And how these players move around the map is so difficult compared to other games. We're seeing Bronny get that kill off the Plat. He has to take the 1v1. Avexys won't let him have it, though, Taylor. You see how he's creating a distance, not allowing him to have that fight. But Bronny's going to try to chase down Rushiez, but once again, he backs up, and he's not going to give him the peace of mind. It's Rise putting pressure on the Pioneers.
Also sending that love right back, too. No respect. Yeah, you said it, man. You know, hey, after that round 4, if you're gonna trash talk, you're gonna beat down.
They never got the lead, by the way.
2-2.
They never got the lead. You never got the lead. They've had a tie game, but they never got the lead.
You said it best. Hey, but you know what? That trash talk in that moment felt good. Okay, I bet it did.
Yeah. You know what? But that's their issue and a lot of our issues. We be chasing temporary feelings too much, okay? Forget the temporary pleasures in life, all right? We want the pleasures that's gonna last up a lifetime, not real love, all right? Like looking at a trophy on your mantle because you won the Gears Winter Major. You gotta stay composed. Yeah. Well, Rise, they're showing us what composure is kind of looking like in this moment. But they cannot stay alive on their feet for long, Taylors. They're gonna get taken out. Pioneers, they get another round on the board.
You know, you say don't chase temporary pleasures.
Yeah, I say that.
That macaroni and cheese we made, man,
I wouldn't do this.
it may have been temporary, but it was surely a pleasure. Okay, and I'll be chasing that anytime that I can get my hands on it.
That's why I love cooking. That's why I love cooking, man. As soon as that plate is on the table, you got to enjoy it right there in the moment. You can't save it for later. It's his best right there. Okay.
And it's temporary, but hey, I mean, it seems like it lasts a lifetime sometimes, especially if the food hits right. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, sometimes temporary pleasures are worth it, but in this case, getting that beat down, hey, sometimes it's not worth it unless you can close it out. DeToX picking up the snipe. Rushiez getting away with the incense. Rise. Everything in their power to be successful. Nice body shot, but can't follow it up just yet. Oh, nice nade, just like that. It's going to, it's tied up 3-3 because Rushiez answers with an instant on the Xysho. And just like that, we're all evened up, but still, you got to give respect over to Rise with the sniper of DeToX.
I think it's one more nade left in the hands of the Pioneers. It is not. I do see the flash that they're working with, so no more nades across the board. The fact that DeToX be dropping his snipe just shows his maturity for me, because he is one of the filthiest snipers I've ever seen, and he keeps dropping it for Avexys. Like, I'll never do that. Like, when you good with the scope, your whole team just got to sit back and let you hit shots. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whoever gets it first.
It's already universal law at this point, brother. You're not giving up the sniper, all right? You got that sniper for a reason. And you wrote the books for a reason. But he gave up the sniper. But either way, it results into a 6-4 victory for Rise. And Blaze, that 3-0 I was talking about might become a reality, because that's 2 maps down, and Rise wins both of them. They're up 2-0, and Vasgar is coming up next, map number 3 for Escalation. And last time they played against each other, well, that was a 5-1 win in favor of Rise. So at this point for KCP, well, they might not be making out of their group undefeated. We're going to find out after the break. Map 3 Vasgar coming up after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gears 5 Winter Major presented by the Batman. I'm Taylor from Reflections. I'm joined by Guy Blaze, 2 maps down and 2 in a row. Rise is successfully able to win over KCP. Much closer, Blaze, this time around than their Pro League matchup, but still the same result. Rise refusing to back down.
Rise is not giving up in this series, and rightfully so. They are coming into this one as some people expected them to be the underdog, some people expect them to be the favorites. It just depends on which side you stand on. Either side could have been a right one because that's how close we felt these teams were matched up coming into this series. But Rise has shown that when it comes down to game day, that they are a little bit better. We'll see if they can keep with that consistency heading on over towards Vasgar Escalation. Now, for the Pioneers, they were missing a player on this map, a player to have a huge impact, and that was Acells. He went 2-8 over the 9 rounds in which he played, and that's not like him. A big reason of that is because he's playing right behind Bronny on that platform, so some of the times where he gets first-blooded, Acells, he's in a difficult situation, but even though we call him Mr. Double Kill, Rise was not giving him the pleasure of clutching up like that. So when we move to the escalation, with it being on a respawn side, Acells will have a few more opportunities at getting heated up for this Pioneers team because they definitely need them.
They need it. And, you know, I'm scared. I really am for KCP because Vasgar has been a map that hasn't fared well for them as of recently, at least for, and I say recently, obviously I'm talking about Split 2. Something hasn't been going right for them on that map. And I'm telling you guys, the last time Rise played KCP on Vasgar, it was not pretty at all whatsoever. And that was with KCP trying to switch up the battlefield, placing power weapons down, and they still weren't able to get anything going. So at this point for Rise, just like Fran said in his, his keys to victory, keep pressure on the Pioneers. Rise continues to do that, and they're not doing it with showing love. They're not doing it with showing, just maybe a pile driver here or tombstone here, every once in a while. Point is, Rise, they just want the victory. They want to clean this series up, and they just want to move forward to the bracket tomorrow.
Yeah, and with that energy, the same way that you said it, Rise, they just want a victory. They want to come out to work and get the job done, all right? And so it's going to take for some dirty gameplay, and some players may not get too much recognition. And when it comes down to the respawn game modes, I will forever echo and say that I think Rushiez is the biggest asset that Rise has. He is the hardest player, okay? The hardest player to take down in this lobby, and it shows when he's fighting for positioning.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this could very well be the final map of the day, depending on how KCP ends up playing. But for the Gears 5 Winter Major presented by the Batman, you don't want to miss the movie. It's going to be in theaters on March 4th. And I must say, just like the movie From to this series, it's not just a call, it's a warning. And the warning is, KCP, this is your chance to step up, because if you do not, hey, Rise is going to win this series 3-0, and that's not going to give KCP much confidence moving into day 2, because they're already going to move the day 2. We already know that, but they're not going to want to move into day 2 with the loss, right? That's the reality.
Yeah, chat, Taylor's not lying, okay? Unmask the truth for yourself. The proof is in putting right here on your screen, and you can also see the Batman on the big screen March 4th. Now, ACP, they gotta get this pressure off of them. They got their spawn, big home hill capped up. Here's the flank off the side. INZEM gets it down. A quick revive is there. Another quick revive is there, negating damage. Ooh, but it was Acells able to at least get 1 kill. I thought he got 2. But the home hill will stay in favor of Rise, but Bronny on the flank, he's looking to take Rise's home hill back over into the Pioneers' favor. And I know if you're watching Gears for the first time, it's like a horse track, but when it comes down to Vasgar, our asymmetrical map, you're going to see a lot of flanks. And Pioneers, so far, they've had a great one, and it's going to get them to round 1 win.
Okay, that is good to see. Taking round number 1 gives them a position to feel a bit more comfortable, and especially in the way that they did so. And you look at Rise, hey, not looking too healthy for KCP either, but hey, they got the domination, and that's what you want to see. But why is round 1 so significant? Well, if they can take round after round, maybe lead 2-0, 3-0, it's going to force Rise to make a decision. Continue to build up their power weapons to the shock, to the instance on their left side or their right side, mid, or do they place a power weapon down on tank, or maybe something over there on helicopter? Normally we see nades or a torque bow. These are decisions that could be made depending on which team takes a significant lead. But that's only one round. In KCP, they've got to hold on tight. Right now, 3v1 on tank. If Bronny is by himself, but not for long, he's going to be finished off, which puts the pressure now for Rise with Rushiez, who's going to be by himself, looking at KCP pushing him.
And he's going to get taken out. Avexys with the DeToX trying to push back these members of the Pioneers. Now, he knows that, hey, my squad, we already got a heal. We got B locked in. He just needs to wait for his teammate to come off the respawn so they can get C back. If they see 3 players in front of them, Rise is going to call for the push at the home hill on A. They're just looking for the 2v2 matchup. Pioneers, they know they're waiting for that as well. So you also see the Pioneers saying, since it's 2v2, we get an option to choose to be defense or offense. Which position do we want to be aggressive on? And this is Acells and Hndles choosing to be offensive on the home hill because somebody has to take the fight. They can't get pressed from both sides. And so Pioneers, they make a great call, but can they win the battles that they need? Well, they lost the first 2v2. They win the second, though. Well, not yet. I may have spoken too soon. Rise.
Okay.
Oh, they get it done.
They barely get it done, though. That was a fight through and through. Scrappy indeed, kind of how this series has been. Now, KCP, unlike the first round where they were in the position Rise is in, now they are on the, shoes on the opposite foot, fighting for their life, trying to avoid Rise getting the domination. And what a shot. Yo, through the meat shield, DeToX drops Acells, picks him up, and that surely keeps KCP in the running.
What?
Yo!
Bro, hey, yo, I know I said you had to step up, but what was this in the first 2 maps?
I'm telling you, bro.
His shots hit so hard, he's shooting through meat shields. He's shooting through boxes, shooting through concrete.
Watch it. He's not
They
done
can't
yet.
stop him.
He's not done
He
yet.
about to shoot through the soul of Dom. He been dead for years.
Oh my God. What? Yo, come my guy. Push them all.
Yo,
take them all down. Kill them all.
Bro,
Yo.
Somebody stop him.
You can't. Yo. What the hell
man?
did that man just do?
I don't know what
What?
he whispered in his ear.
Bro.
I don't know what he took a sip of, but
That's just
the
one long replay. Like,
the energy in which we saw from him in those final 7 kills in which he got, the speed, the accuracy, even the violence behind every shot.
that was nasty.
Man, it showed me that this series may not be as over as we thought it might be. Yeah, it may not be.
Dang, bro. That round literally went from Rise winning on the precipice of winning to Acells just saying, nah,
DeToX
dude,
had
we
the
got
meat
this.
shield, and once DeToX got the meat shield, everyone in chat was like, it's over.
It's over.
But then he blinked him through the meat shield. It was perfect timing on when it was getting dropped to the point where DeToX couldn't even get a melee off. DeToX had to hit him with 1 melee. He could have won the fight for his team, but that's how fast and accurate Acells was playing.
This guy.
And now Acells is back at it again in the next
he
round.
is cracked out of his mind.
Oh, he cut back. Ooh, that would have kept him alive for another 1v2. Yeah, just barely though.
I'm starting to think he put the cheat codes in and he was invincible at this point, bro, because Acells was just popping off. But he can die. He can die. And Rise, once again, is going for a domination. So now is when you turn out the bat signal, but instead of the Batman showing up, it's Acells who comes in for the the revenge to keep the round alive. And speaking of the devil, here he is. Speaking of the Acells, but he's gonna drop in the meantime. Hey, you noticed the Avexys and Rushiez there gave him the space. All right, they didn't challenge. They didn't ego challenge. They said, all right, hey, let's play this safe this time, all right? No one's going to be the hero here. Let's just lance around. They did exactly that, and they get the win. That's Rise's first win on the board.
All right, they get around, and it was a good round. It was a clean round, especially off the last 2 they came off of, because the round 2 could have been demoralizing the way that Acells had played there, but Rise recovered. So we'll see if they can get this one all tied up 2-2. Now, during that last round, Rise just did a good job shifting their numbers. Really good job shifting their numbers and taking their 2v fights as a team. As we head into this one, you see Rise sending 3 players towards B. Player 5 quickly saw that, but Bronny couldn't get out. He overstayed his welcome. He's gonna die. But what can Rise do getting a kill so early? Their opponent hasn't even made it to C yet. Well, he tried to camp the corner. They got 2 good shots on him. Rushiez does stay alive. But Rise knows the play, and they also have the cross coming in from the other end of the map.
KCP, 3 on C. But really, you got
the mark. As soon as that mark, because that mark goes forward, the 2 players on the flank press forward, all right? Rise is going to make this a defensive stand on top of the hill, but the DeToX headshot from Acells connects on Rushiez. He gets the down on Avexys. That's Hndles. Now, the B hill will shift over, but Rise, it took the 2v1 fight at A, all right? They're doing a good job calling out their numbers and rotating the map. Same for the Pioneers, though.
Yeah, Pioneers having the objective in hands. We know, obviously. Ooh, that was a trade. Okay, Avexys is still going to be there and be able to get his hands onto C. And who's this fighting by himself? Player 1. That was, yeah, so DeToX, tough spot, but look at this guy. Look at INZEM is literally watching them dance on DeToX, and instead of going for revenge, he backs up. Honestly, I'm not even hating on that. It's a smart play. You're not going to push that.
I was about to say, it sounded like you was going to hate on it, Taylor. I was going to say, hold up,
I'm not hating on it. I'm not. I know it sounded that way, though, but I'll be real. It was a smart play. I just, I get carried away sometimes. I'm like, don't let him do that to your boy in front of your face. Push up. But you know what? That's not a smart play. Right?
He was just being sneaky. He wanted the last laugh. He was waiting towards the bottom of the stairs, but he keeps positioning for his team. That kept them with the C hill and is going to give Rise an opportunity to press their numbers towards A. For Rise, Rushiez needs to stay alive. I talk about him being one of the hardest players to kill in our entirety of our league, just based on the difficult situations and tournaments he's played in. Now, KCP, they also know how to handle pressure. They handle it on their home hill very, very well. They win that battle at A. They cross out Rushiez, and now it's a trip cap domination coming through.
This round's all but over with. Even if you get a touch on the C, it's not going to matter. But I do appreciate Rise sprinting towards the hill just to make an effort. And first half is done, Blaze. And KCP will lead 3-1, showing new life. And, I got to say, Blaze, we have seen so many series. A team leads 2-0. In this case, obviously, Rise. We head into map 3, and that's the turning point. That's the momentum changer. And like I said before, I was looking at Reactor to be the strong opening map for KCP. Rise ends up winning that. And I thought the 2 maps of Checkout and Vasgar were going to go into the way of Rise, which it absolutely still can. But the reality is on the back end, District and also the analysts pointed out very succinctly, Clocktower. That's where KCP can turn up. So if Rise loses Vasgar, these next 2 maps coming up on District and Clocktower could get pretty scary for Rise. So this is in my opinion, they need to finish this off 3-0.
Yeah, or at least in a 3-1 fashion. I favor Rise a lot on District Control as a map and game mode. So it's still a lot of work for the Pioneers to get done. We'll see if they can put that map 5 pressure on Rise with them having this lead. 2 good shots coming in from Rushiez. He loves playing this on this E hill, on this ticketing side, luggage side of the map. Now, Rise with the E hill and F hill to their name. This is where Rushiez is sneaky. Now, will Bronny check this corner? He knows he's supposed to. Oh, for a second, I didn't know if he was going to get it. But that's why he's the hardest to kill. That's why he's so annoying. Now he can cause commotion because he knows his teammates, they're roadie running straight to him. He's stunned again, but he's alive in a quick revive and a capture. Rise, they're going to get themselves another round on the board. Oh, no, F.
Hey, Bronny.
Yeah, Acells got behind, and Bronny's there. Still an open round for either squad. Pioneers did a great job recovering from the pressure that Rushiez brought on the flank. And now this is where Rise, they can't falter.
Oh, domination. Domination attempts going to be coming through. Rise, like you said, they can't falter off the respawn. They need to get onto F and push Acells and Co back, which seems as if they're doing so with ease. I say that, though, but Hndles takes the attempt, and he's going to unfortunately die. Bronny, though, hiding from the shadows, getting kind of revenge on Hndles. I'm sure he wanted it to, or at least on INZEM, he wanted it to be on Rushiez from earlier, but he'll take what he can get. Slowly, but surely ends up falling behind and dying there. KCP got some ground to cover. Looking to do so. This round goes from almost being over to being competitive once again because Bronny up the respawn kept it competitive, and Hndles is looking to do just the same, taking at 1, doubles back for Rushiez, and that looked like a great double back. Unfortunately, he doesn't hit the spread he needs, and we're back to square one with Rise going for a domination.
And Rise completed. It's Rushiez in a 1v3. Can't get another kill for his team, but hey, they got the lead. And also Rise knew that he was on his own. They said, bro, if you get it and we win, hey, that's dope, but that's not the play. We know that we need to hang back, play off the lead in which we have, because Rise can they can technically win off of 1, but that doesn't mean that Rise needs to turtle around E in a way that most teams will, and I don't think they're doing that now. They got a great spread. They got the height advantage. They're spread out towards their opponent's spawn as well. But when it ends up backing up like this, he can't back up too much more. At a certain point, he's gonna have to go forward if Xysho gets under him.
DeToX
Yeah,
shots.
they gotta capitalize on that.
Got to. You have to. And Rushiez gets to kill onto Acells. Avexys, I mean, against KCP and the world, no worries at all. IGL making it happen, and that's going to be Rise bringing it 2-3, keeping the dream alive for them to close it out 3-0. And that, mind you, also, too, that was the first round of the fresh half, which means Rise might be a better second half team. We'll definitely see how this is going to progress forward. We'll have retros on both sides, maybe. Acells surely will go for the retro, and he will. So we have INZEM onto the side of Rise. You have a Shock onto the side of KCP. Both viable in their own way. Really what I'm interested in is going to be the breakout. We will see a 2-2 split for both rosters.
And yeah, this is a safe breakout for both of our teams. They're going to be able to get the power weapons, get their nades, and then make a decision. Pioneers has a little bit more time to make a decision on the play, and they know that they have to rotate towards E. But that's a quick cap from Rise, and they get behind cover. Also, INZEM, he has the height advantage at D. Rise perfectly set up to continue collecting on time. This is a tricky fight for the Pioneers to have to take. It needs to happen on this side of the map. DeToX is in a position to get the first kill for Rise, but you see how the Pioneers saying, how can we angle them out? Do we have the nades? They got one in the hands of Xysho. Everybody got some flashes to work with, actually.
INZEM still has the
Incinerary.
But he's going to be in a 1v on, or no, make that a 2v1, excuse me. Hndles trying to
Rushiez
hold
got
his
two!
ground if he can't. Yo,
Off the
Rushiez got
revive!
2?
Yeah, he got
Hold
2
up.
off the revive. He stays alive, capping a heal. He's going to play for the domination.
No shot. Blaze, no shot, right? Yo, Rushiez is
Oh,
doing it. It's still going to be a
yeah,
domination, maybe.
It's it.
No,
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
like,
So that was
so
Avexys who hits the 2.
Yo, no, Avexys got the revive, and he said, peace, Rushiez, you're dead, okay? I can't help you. But somehow Rushiez got up, and he got 2. And then from there, they just really took over the round. And it was 1-3. No, it was DeToX, sorry. DeToX got the, no, it was definitely Avexys. It was definitely Avexys, all right.
Yeah, it was Avexys. It was
Okay.
Avexys. Wow.
Yeah, he got the revive and said, peace.
So, so you know what's interesting? We have nades up top, but no sniper on tank. You don't really ever see nades come out like that without a sniper on tank. Normally that's kind of break things up a little bit, but you don't want to give the nades up for free. So instead of the safe bet of 2-2 split, now you got to send 3 members to challenge on E.
It's a lot easier to dodge those nades than to dodge 6 snipes from these players in this lobby. Definitely a safer choice. Now, a good thing is for Rise is that they have the height advantage to play for the nades with their Incinerary. That's a good spread. They get the down, but they also have to dodge the nades coming from the back from Hndles and Bronny. Kill cleaned up, the flanks on the side, a solid L trigger from Hndles. He gets almost got the second. He does, with the help of his teammate. INZEM gets 1. INZEM gets the cleanup. He resets. INZEM almost gets the second. It's a win for Bronny. But he has 2 members from Rise rushing towards him. Can he get the cap? Just barely, and that's a good smoke.
Good smoke indeed. Gives Bronny an opportunity to get the cap without getting damaged, but look at the refresh from Rise. Blaze, 3 strong now over in this location. Player 3 of Avexys. Looks like he was going to be in a 1v2, but player 6 backs off because he knows he needs to join Acells as well as Bronny. Bronny's going to be down. Frag going to be out. It gets a hit marker. Acells will double back. DeToX will get the drop onto him, plus the finish. And that's going to be another one. That's 3 now dead and out. Hndles by himself at Avexys. And a must win. And he wins it. And another domination's going to be coming through.
Clean domination at that. Get off the hill. They get it. Rise. They take the lead, and now they are 1 round away, Taylor, from taking this series 3-0 just when the Pioneers were up.
Yeah.
We thought that they were looking good. We thought that the series wouldn't be over, but Rise finds a way to get back into it. And this is going to make this loss hurt that much more on the side of Pioneers.
Yeah. It's going to hurt, brother, because this is the second time they're going to be 3-0'd on this, two of the same maps, right? Clocktower, or excuse me, Checkout, as well as Vasgar. Map number 1, though, Reactor. That's where KCP felt comfortable. We saw the pick and bans. That was map number 1 that KCP chose. And I want to say this, Blaze, like Rise had played Reactor, but had like almost no success on it pretty much throughout Pro League. So the fact that they won that is just, it just shows that honestly, Rise is a better team than KCP. Like, that's just what it is, straight up. Anyways, there's still a chance for KCP to win this. Frag out for DeToX. We know how deadly he could be, and well, he will take down Rushiez, who I think was already down in his defense.
Yep, already down. DeToX is trying to make something happen as he tried to clean up the kills on Rushiez, but he keeps one nade in his back pocket. And it's going to be Rise using his nade back tank. That's a great cutoff, forces him to hop up. But it was a great nade, gets Rise just a little bit more map control. And so one thing that we're noticing over these last few rounds is that Rise is getting the power weapons at E, and they're having a presence to start the map up there. A big impact, even though they never got the heal cap, them just coming away with the 2 nades was very influential. But they got to be able to get this F heal as the next objective, and they can utilize their numbers to push their opponent back. Pioneers say, we got time to give up this heal just to give Hndles his opportunity to fight the 1v1. But Rise sent another player. They'll take down Hndles, and Rise once again in the same position they were in before, trying to take control over their opponent's home heal, but they're gonna have to wait again and do it. And they, with the time that's left, they may only get 1 or 2 more team fights.
1 or 2 more team fights. It's a scary proposition, not really for Rise, but for KCP, because I mean, you have to win them. They're like, bottom line period, you really do. Acells popping off again. Yo, go for the 3rd. Can't get it. But even still, though, DeToX will fall because Xysho is there for the refresh, and that should be all she wrote for KC, or excuse me, for Rise in this round. We might be going to a round number 9 here, depending, but Rise, they're going to have one more final attempt here.
Now, Rise, they don't have the numbers to go towards F, and their best opportunity may be splitting up for the 2-2. I think those frags are going to be up soon, and they're going to go in the hands of Bronny. Yeah, he gets them. DeToX gets the Incinerary. Also, as well, Pioneers, they got an Incendiary grenade up there above Bronny. That's why he's going to toss these nades down. You know he has one more behind him. He gets it down on DeToX, protects his heal. And that's multiple members down on Rise.
Good job, Xysho.
We're going to this round number 9. Chat, blow it up, because this is about to be epic between both these squads. I know it says 2-0 for Rise. I know it seems like it's not a close series, but my God, I tell you, if the Pioneers win this one, we may be going to that game 5. It's coming down to this.
Blaze, I swear to you, and you quote me on this, you clip it, I don't care. KCP, if they win this round 9, this is going to a game 5, because I favor them on District. And Clocktower, even though I favor KCP there, I really don't know, because I've seen what DeToX can do when he gets that quick pick on Snipes. So it's still anybody's ball game. And honestly, Rise used to be one of our best Clocktower teams in the Pro League. We've got the INZEMs locked out on one side, and then on the other side for Rise, what are we going to be up to? And they're going to go ahead and get those frags up. But I think, which since they didn't use their disable, they must have used it a little bit earlier and I missed it. So that's my bad. So maybe a bit of a disadvantage now for Rise.
No, like I said, Rise continues to win his helicopter side of the map. They're going to get these 3 nades. KCP has not been able to stop them thus far. And Acells, quick pick. Oh my God, he got him. He's out. The shock and the Incendiaries didn't land the way that they needed to. Now he has 3 nades to work with. That's a low nade. That's a little defensive one. If Rise can bait out all these nades now, that is a win. They're trying to. It's a flank coming around for Xysho. He takes the long angle, but I think he got spotted.
Avexys on a flank too.
Xysho, can he get there in time? He's getting some shots on INZEM. INZEM goes forward. He turns the corner just barely. Xysho in the position, the revive, the chunk, and that's a Rise win. It was a game of inches, a chess match.
Yeah.
But it was Avexys who had more of an impact with his flank than Xysho. He got there quicker. Xysho had the height advantage, but he didn't have the open angles because everybody was below him. Now it's Acells. He has to go beast mode, just like we saw him in round number 2. I haven't seen it in a while, but 13 and 13, he's playing even, but he needs to do more than that, as he's gonna wrap around, has faith in his teammates. They get the kill, and that's 3 members down on the side of Rise.
3 members down on the side of Rise, but player 1 sitting pretty. DeToX not being contested. He'll keep Rise in the game. This round number 9, which things are starting to get tense. Shout out to Xysho, 17 assists, 17k damage. I'm telling you, it's pretty much normalcy at this point, Blaze, where he's going to be picking up close to 20k damage per game because he is just so absolutely incredible as a support player and an IGL. INZEM will drop Avexys. You hate to see that, you really do, especially when you're trying to retake control. That's going to give KCP some more time to work with and more time to garner a lead.
This ain't good for KCP, though. All right, I'm going to tell you why. That was a great shot. But Rise, the way that they got it set up, they got 3 nades behind them. They let DeToX go in for a 1v1. He can win the game now for his team if he chooses to. He knows he has to fight. But DeToX, can he go big? Can he take over? Can he get this map for his squad? Here comes the cavalry. Rise. Can they take the series 3-0? It's a cat. The Pioneers can't get in. It's a back smack, but Acells. He breaks through, causes chaos, stays alive as well. The smokes makes it that much harder. The flames make it that much more difficult. But as Rise stand composed at the back of the map, the shot's gonna connect. And there you go. Rushiez on the flank.
It's over. Wow, it's over. It's over. Rise will win round number 9. They will win Vasgar 5-4, and they will win the series 3-0, going undefeated in their group and beating their arch nemesis of KCP. And they do it in spectacular fashion with a big comeback in the second half of Vasgar, and also a big comeback, Blaze, in that last round, that round number 9, where KCP seemed to be in control until they weren't, and their heads were spinning, and Rise were going for the domination. What a finish it was to that series, and what a victory for Rise as a whole. They have to have the utmost confidence heading in to champ bracket tomorrow.
The utmost confidence indeed. That was a good win for them playing up against the Pioneers, and it was a clean win from them as well. We saw how good their discipline and rotations were on map number 1. We saw how talented they were getting the first bloods in map number 2, and we saw the clutch potential. We saw the clutch potential in map number 2 as well. But in this map, we saw we saw all of it put together, to be honest with you, because that's what Escalation embodies. All right, the best of control and execution. And Rise, they looked really good winning that map, that series in a fashion in which they did. And yeah, you know, now we'll see if they can keep it up tomorrow going into the champ bracket. I
mean, Blaze, Rise played perfectly, and they got the job done once again. A 3-0 in back-to-back matches against KCP. And Blaze, that isn't accidental. That's because Rise seems to be the better team without question. Now, will they beat the likes of V United and Pittsburgh Knights? Well, we haven't seen that just yet, okay? But it is a talking point that KCP, if they can't beat Rise, who else can they beat in the top 5? That's going to be a question only they can answer. But either way, they still make the champ bracket tomorrow. But taking this loss isn't going to give them all the confidence that they needed, at least they were hoping for. But well done to Rise. Seriously, it was. And to break all the action down, of course, we got to pass it to our handsome group, a bunch of analysts. Boys, take it away.
Hold on. We're making drawing conclusions on Friday? We're talking about pool play.
How about practice?
8 championship Sunday. 8 championship. We're talking about pool play. It's crazy.
No? You know?
It's crazy, you know?
Good start.
I don't know, man. It's a good start. Nice job, Rise. Rise 3-0 them. Rise, listen, we've been here before, Ryan. All right? Rise shows up, dominates on Friday, looks good on Saturday, ain't there on Sunday. KCP, they show up Sunday. Is this a different story this time around?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot to see, right? Again, I'll keep just saying it, man. All of these teams look like they're playing at a very similar level at the top, right? This event to me is still wide open. You said it like, you know, you're right, John. There's been a number of times where Rise has looked very good on Friday, looked very good on Saturday, not quite the same on Sunday. So again, is it obviously a little too early to say, like, is this going to be the one they do it at? But man, a 3-0 for this team is still very, very strong. I know they did in Pro League, but I don't really care necessarily who it is, right? If you can 3-0 this KCP team at an event, that is very, very impressive. So again, I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket, of course, on Friday, but I do think this is a very, very strong start for Rise. It's not like they edged us out, right? That was a 3-0.
That's a good point. Dominant 3-0 for the most part, too, obviously, except for game number 3. pretty even, neck and neck. That's 1v1 DeToX the Instant right there. Always fun watching you guys on Checkout Execution. But Toby, I gotta bring you in a conversation here. What are your thoughts? I did. Yeah, it did. And Toby's, we're gonna get Toby fixed in VMix here. We can hear him in Discord, but we'll get back into VMix. What he was saying though is, it felt so much closer than a 3-0 because truly it did. So it's kind of hard to draw conclusions, especially given that, right, Ryan?
Yeah, no, it certainly was. Like I said, it was a 3-0, but it was a close game, right? And because these are two very, very high-level teams, right? So we knew coming into this was kind of the match we all circled for a reason because we knew this would be despite the scoreline, right? We knew these would be two very, very strong teams going at it, two teams that are very familiar with each other. So now that we got Toby back, I'll let Toby sort of reiterate his point, but nonetheless, a good 3-0.
Yeah. I was just saying that I've never been so enthralled in a 3-0 series before. It felt way, way closer, right? It could have gone either way at times. It was just a little bit of a clutch factor, I say, from Rise oftentimes. Even on Checkout going back, we had some really big moments where you had a sudden death multiple times, 2v2s, Rise often getting the edge there. And even when it seemed like KCP were becoming this unstoppable force on Vasgar, kind of memories of the past with Acells doing crazy things. I think Blaze said he shot through concrete essentially at one time. He was going off, right? But then Rise towards the end, you see in this clip, right? They just started winning team fight after team fight. Very difficult situations they got their way out of. Rushiez started doing what he does best, and that's getting those difficult kills with the secret mans and whatnot. And you can see the scores there, right? It goes to show how much of an effort Rise really put in every single map, and that is a very hard-earned 3-0 victory for me. And bear in mind that's 6 maps in a row for them now, right? 6-0 if you include the Pro League match that they just played. Rise are looking good. They certainly are.
You put some respect on their name, go around.
I was going to say, what I will say too is, by the way, there is, in my opinion, value, by the way, in being the team that 3-0s those very, very close ones, right? A lot of times someone will look at that scoreline and be like, well, that could have gone either way because they were all close. Like, sure, they were all close, but the same team won all 3 of them, right? So to me, there's actually a lot of value in that, right? In the sense that the same team won. It wasn't like they edged out, a couple, they were all really close and it really came down to the wire, and then the 5th map came down to the wire. Then you can really say, okay, maybe that one could have kind of gone either way. They won all 3 of the close ones, right? So to me, that really does show that they were ahead above, right? It was a great match. I enjoyed watching it, but I do think there actually is value in the fact that, when that was a 3-0 still, there is value there.
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to put some respect on that. And Rise, obviously looking very, very good. It's, I'm interested. Obviously, we're going to wrap up the show here after the interview, which, by the way, we're going to have an interview with Jordan Curl and Avexys here in just a moment. Interested to get Avexys' thoughts. But a lot of interesting thoughts I'm interested to get from y'all. The grand scope of the tournament in PK United, where are they in the mix? Rise, will KCP show up on Sunday? I mean, there's so many storylines there which are exciting, but you can't deny, that Rise looking very, very solid. They went 9-0 today. They're 6-0 over the Kansas City Pioneers in the last 2 matchups they've had against them. They haven't dropped a map to the reigning champions. That says something. And you know what? It's not here from us. Let's hear directly from the source of truth himself. It's Avexys live with Jordan for an interview. Take it away, Jordan.
Thanks, Fallout. I've got Avexys here wrapping up the final match of the day on the main stage. Listen, it was a nail biter at the end, I'm not going to lie, but you guys showed a lot of composure. How are you feeling near the end right there? Were you sweating? Any nerves or anything?
Definitely no nerves because, we've been here before. It's pretty much, we just had to, just get back in the like a relaxed state and just clear the comms up a bit, and we took it right back over.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the entire match, I would say you guys were in the driver's seat. So definitely no stress there. Obviously coming out 3-0 on the day. How do you feel about overall your team's performance throughout the day?
I'm very proud of them, but this is kind of what I expected. The tournament really begins on Sunday, so I'm not really going to go too much into that. Like, I'm not really worried about anything right now. It's about the bracket play. So see how we are tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah. And so is there any team maybe you're looking forward to matching up against tomorrow?
United, maybe, PK, like any of the top 3, like top 4, big names that we already could expect a good match from. Other than that, no, not really.
All right. And I would say in the chat and also on the analyst desk, there was some back and forth about who might win this one. 50-50 split, I would say, in all honesty, just to be fair. Do you have any final thoughts or words for maybe some of the doubters out there on you guys?
Man, we always rise to the occasion, you know what I mean? So,
okay.
I'm not. You guys can doubt us, man. We're going to prove you wrong over and over and over. So, just do our thing. That's all that matters.
All right, I like the Rise plug in there. I see you. Okay, we look forward to playing. We look forward to watching you guys, obviously, on Saturday and the rest of this week. Congratulations again, Avexys. I'll kick it back over to the guys at the analyst desk.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Much appreciated. As we, of course, got to hear some interesting perspective there from Avexys. Calm, cool, collect. This guy's a veteran. It's crazy. Isn't that crazy to say this guy's a veteran now in the scene? Avexys, the absolute veteran in his display and his responses there, Ryan.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Like I said, Avexys always gives good interviews, man. Like you said, he always just very even keeled, right? He's done this a number of times now, right? I know we all sort of remember the young Avexys when he first came on the scene, right? And, you know, full of energy now. You see, he's just cool, calm, and collected, right? He knows that the day is not one today. He knows the day is not one tomorrow, right? He knows that Sunday is what matters most. So, you know, like I said, I like the interview. Like I said, you know, I didn't expect him to come out and be like, oh, yeah, you know, we're winning this event. Like, yeah, it's our time, right? Like, you know him, man. Like, they know not to call their shot early. And like I said, they had a very good match. I'm sure they're going to have a nice night, go over some of the film, and get ready for tomorrow.
A wise and experienced Avexys now, that's for sure. Let's take a look at the pool play standings, though, as a result of Pool Play Friday here for the Gears Winter Major, presented by the Batman. Pittsburgh Knights hadn't lost. Rise hadn't lost. Let's start with Pool A, though. Pittsburgh Knights is perfect here. Toby.
Yeah, this is kind of what you'd predict, right? Basically on paper, Wichita Wolves actually 1-2, so they couldn't really topple Hive. It's something we touched upon in the pre-show earlier. In that sense, Hive doing really well to hold that second spot strong. Meanwhile, PK, right? No surprise. 3-0, 100% map percentage. Got to tip your hat off to them. They have certainly turned up today.
Yeah, meanwhile, in Pool B, you got United dominating, also perfect in their pool, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, kind of expected, right? What is kind of cool is to see those boys on retirement getting that second place in Pool B. Of course, Fury 1 is one of our Pro League teams, so we do technically have an LCQ team, actually, with our number 2 spot, of course, is some of the most legendary players we've ever had in Gears Esports, so not a ton of surprise there. Still very excited to see what they have in store for us the rest of the weekend, but United so far right now, if you're to kind of end the day, they're probably looking like everyone's pick right now, so again, that's just business as usual.
Yep. Meanwhile, in Pool C, not the same story. Rebel, not a perfect showing. They go 3-0, but they lose a couple maps. They struggled a little bit against Team Queso, going to Game 5 against them, but ultimately they won 3-0, and that's the stat line that matters. So congratulations to them. They take home first in their pool. Identives and Co. still have business to take care of tomorrow. And then last but certainly not least, Pool D, Rise is perfect. Toby, they're looking very, very solid.
Oh, they are. They most certainly are. It shows in the map percentage, right? They've done so well today. I really respect, though, Avexys, his interview there. It goes to show the level of composure that he and his teammates have. They really need to look ahead and continue this performance, right? That was the big question mark about Rise pretty much in every recent major is, can they continue that performance? Meanwhile, Pioneers 2-1. Yeah, they'll take second place. No surprise there. Question is, can they turn it around after a very difficult loss, 0-3? Against Rise, of course. Casa de Papel, though, you know, shout out to them. They have beaten out Cyclone for that third spot, right? They were, of course, the challenger team. Cyclone, the Pro League team. Well played to them. Congrats.
That's right. That happens in 2 occasions here. Wichita Wolves doing it as well. So with that said, Wichita Wolves, Casa de Papel, they will qualify to Saturday, the 4th place team in each pool. Their run is over, unfortunate for them, but congratulations to our qualifying teams here. 12 teams that'll make it to the championship bracket. Let's go ahead and take a look at our champ bracket for Saturday. Team Queso versus Casa de Papel to start things off the top left there. The Knights, Rise, United, and Rebel all getting buys. But Ryan, what are some interesting matchups that you're looking forward to here? I think there's one that probably certainly stands out.
Yeah, so I mean, in winners round 1, the matchup that I'm looking at is going to be Retirement versus Wichita Wolves. That one is going to be definitely an exciting round 1 match. And as I kind of start to look forward some of the potential matches in round number 2, maybe in the winners semis, you do see the Knights and Rise on the same side of the bracket. You heard of Avexys say he wouldn't mind playing PK tomorrow, but look at Pioneers versus Fire and Ice. The winner of that plays E United. So we have a potential for a winners round 2 matchup of E United versus the Kansas City Pioneers. That one is going to be crazy. That is quite the bracket placement, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely insane round 2 matchup. That one's got to be on main stage. Goalie, I'm telling you right now, brother, our producer, if that's not on main stage, I'm rioting. But no, jokes aside, it's going to be fun to watch. E United versus Pioneers round 2. Retirement versus Wichita Wolves, certainly the round 1 match to watch. I think there'll be some good ones tomorrow. I like where this bracket's shaking out. I mean, Toby, if all teams advance, we'll have a Pittsburgh Knights versus Rise semifinal again if they can handle their business, and potentially United or Pioneers against Rebel. I mean, do you think KCP can come out swinging against the United, assuming they beat Fire and Ice, Toby?
You'd hope so, right? They've got that warm-up in Fire and Ice. The question is, can they put on a better performance than they have today, right? If you look at how they performed against Rise, you'd think no. You know, honestly, that you'd think United will carry on. I've said it before, I'll say it again today. United seem to be the favorite to win this entire thing. KCP, yeah, they have it in their bones to really come back and come swinging in a major, but we haven't seen it yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing what side of the bed they wake up tomorrow and see if they turn out. And we have Acells, as we saw earlier, shooting through concrete and shooting through boxes and such, right? You need
cracking
that,
up, by the way, man.
You need that MVP level play from them. You need Hndles to come out with that snipe that he used to do constantly on Clocktower as such, and really pull out the bag. I'm hoping. I really want to see them perform. You know, last major I was all gunning for KCP and really favor them, but I want to see them get back to that form. Hopefully Bronny as well can step up too.
Agreed. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And by the way, I was cracking up. I was dying during that Blaze commentary, man. The entire experience, the entire segment was pure gold, that's for sure. We'll see if Acells can keep playing MVP caliber, but the rest of the team needs to kind of rise around him. We'll see if that'll happen. Will KCP show up in championship Saturday, at least championship bracket Saturday, with the bracket starting tomorrow? Or will they lose to the likes of maybe even Fire and Ice, maybe United right after? We got some great matchups coming, that is for sure. Let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow so you know exactly what to expect and when to expect it. We got Hive versus Fury 1 to kick things off bright and early. Winners quarterfinals right after that. Winners semis at 5 and 7. And of course, our losers quarterfinals at 9. So make sure to mark your calendar. Those winners semifinals will be insane. Every single matchup will be crazy. We'll be going live and starting at 11 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. You won't want to miss it. And as we wrap up today, I want to throw it to y'all for some final closing thoughts. Ryan, starting with you.
Pool play is over, right? Obviously, we know this is part of the business that you have to take care of if you're going to be one of those teams that wins this tournament. So thank you, of course, to the 4 teams that were eliminated today for competing. We appreciate you guys coming out. But as a lot of teams say, right, the real tournament begins tomorrow. So as always, man, just excited for what is to come. Excited to continue to share the desk with you guys. Toby, of course, you know we love having you, buddy. So it's going to be a good weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. Toby?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ryan, for that. And agreed, honestly, this has been a fantastic day. I think tomorrow is going to be even more exciting, honestly. I'd just like to just give a notable mention, actually, to the Rebel versus Queso match 3-2 earlier, right? Perhaps Team Queso can cause the upset, you know, thinking now tomorrow, let's see how they do in their first match and then see if they can really topple PK there. And likewise, Rebel, they've turned up in the major so far. I'm wondering if they can cause the upset, you know, within those top ranks tomorrow. Curious to see how they turn up too.
I think you said it well. Ryan hit the nail on the head as well. Pool play is over, done and dusted. It is now championship bracket time. Win or go home. At least 2 times. You got to lose 2 times. It's a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. But you get the point. You got to perform. You got to show up. No more time for errors. KCP starting a little slow today with a 3-0 loss, but we all know that 3-0 is closer than meets the eye. Will they go back to back to back to back 4-time champions and prove their dynasty still reigns strong even without precision? Or will we see a new champion? United, perhaps LATAM, hosting a trophy for the very first time. Can Mexico or LATAM win a championship in Gears Esports? All those questions and more tomorrow morning, bright and early. Trust me, you will not want to miss it. On behalf of myself, I'm Fallout alongside Ryan Fools, Toby Campbell, Ribs, Franchise, our entire desk, and all of our casters here so far today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our kickoff to the Gears Esports Winter Major presented by the Batman. We'll see you tomorrow morning.